200,000 outstanding traffic tickets. That's the number of unresolved violations currently before the St. Catherine Traffic Court. Antonia Atkinson has details.
Motorists with outstanding tickets issued in St. Catherine between February 1, 2018 and the present are being urged to take immediate action to have their matters heard. Registration for the traffic ticket public day closed on Friday, February 20. The initiative will be hosted at the St. Catherine Parish Court on March 4. Speaking on Smile Jamaica, Director of Client Services for the Court Administration Division, Khadij Jarrett Fletcher, explained that the special traffic ticket public day is designed to ease the backlog of cases.
On the actual day, persons will have a hassle-free opportunity to have their matters brought before the judge and dealt with there. Ordinarily, if you miss your traffic...
What does dealt with mean?
The judicial officer will enforce or impose a sentence or a fine. So the sentence could be a fine.
Okay,
in most traffic offenses,
I'm just checking because
fines.
there's some people watching now who have the ticket and they say, "Me now come out there because they might lock me up."
No, more often than not, it is a fine. But it is important that we know that the penalty that you will receive will be up to the judge.
However, the initiative is not limited to St. Catherine motorists only.
We don't believe one day is going to do it, Simone, but we have to start somewhere. And when we see what the numbers are at the end of this process, then we will determine how we go forward, how many more days we will need to do something like this. But I want to caution our motorists, because if you do not register, and registration closed on Friday, if you have not registered to have your matter dealt with on March 4, essentially what we're going to be doing after this is issuing warrants.
A judge also speaking this morning says he's hopeful the effort will significantly reduce the number of outstanding matters and improve efficiency within the traffic court system.
We have put in place this type of facility because we recognize that a number of persons already have registered because registration has closed. And so we expect thousands of persons perhaps to address their matters. And for that reason, we have in place additional judges, additional courtrooms, and we have, in this instance, thought it prudent to have time slots.
When asked why the tickets have been allowed to build up for so long, Mrs. Jared Fletcher said,
what happened was that there were instances where you would have paid your traffic ticket, but the system did not reflect it, so it was still on the system. And as a court system, we became cautious because we didn't want persons to be arrested who really and truly did pay for their traffic tickets. Now we have fixed those kinks in the system.
Antonia Atkinson, TVJ News.
In the meantime, Commanding Officer for the St. Catherine North Police Division, SSP Hopton Nicholson, recently toured the communities of Shelter Rock and Jones Avenue to reassure residents that the police are ready to respond to their concerns.
We believe that if we work along with our stakeholders, work along with the citizens, treat them with respect and conduct our duties in a professional manner, we will be able to keep the numbers at a reasonable. We wouldn't mind that it is zero. However, we do not control all the variables. So we are trying our very best to ensure that the numbers, as best as practicable, they are as low as we can manage.
It's now time for a break, but stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News, and thanks for staying with us. Despite a reduction in murders and major crimes, head of the Area 3 Assistant Commissioner of Police, Christopher Phillips, says predial larceny and domestic violence are two pressing issues. Speaking at a reception hosted by past students of Michael University College, ACP Phillips underscored that the matter required urgent attention.
The impact of these issues is felt across our communities, and it's imperative that we work together to find solutions. Furthermore, we must contend with the challenges posed by those incarcerated and overseas criminal actors who continue to fuel crime across the island. These are complex issues that require a multifaceted approach. And I believe that the force is well equipped to tackle them. And with the support of the communities, different stakeholders, we can have a significant impact on that.
The senior officer challenged civic groups to partner with the police, particularly those in vulnerable inner-city communities.
We recognize that building trust and fostering partnerships with our communities is key to effective policing. To this end, we will be promoting a set of core values in Era 3 whilst I'm the commander, and I'm promoting to our members integrity, collaboration, and excellence. And I invite Mosa to join us in embracing these values. Some person said it's ice, and I said, well, let this ice never melt.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
The government says a 1% depreciation of the Jamaican dollar against the US dollar would increase the country's debt stock by $13 billion and add approximately $621 million in interest payments. That additional interest cost would represent about 0.4% of the country's projected gross domestic product (GDP) for the next fiscal year. The impact is significant because external debt accounts for between 57 and 60% of Jamaica's total debt, which is expected to reach $2.4 trillion by the end of the current fiscal year. Leaders in Washington and around the world are reacting to President Donald Trump's Saturday announcement that he's raising global tariffs to 15%. That's up from the 10% he imposed just a day earlier. The back-to-back tariff announcements came after the Supreme Court ruled Friday that the sweeping emergency tariffs Trump imposed last year are illegal. But the High Court's ruling only applies to the duties Trump imposed using one specific law. And the president immediately responded by saying he will now rely on other legal authorities to keep tariffs in place. The law Trump is relying on for his new 15% global tariffs requires that Congress approve the duties within 150 days for them to remain in effect. As for the tens of billions of dollars U.S. companies paid after Trump raised tariffs last year, Democrats are demanding the money be refunded. For the Business Minute, I'm Aaliyah Bryant.
And now the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the Belize government is urging its nationals in or traveling through Mexico to exercise caution and avoid non-essential travel to several states, including Jalisco and Guerrero. The advisory follows the killing of cartel leader El Mento of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, which triggered violent unrest. Belize says it is monitoring the situation and will issue updates as needed. On the international scene, a major snowstorm is sweeping across the United States, blanketing parts of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. In some areas, strong winds are creating blizzard-like conditions. Doctors warn this type of snowfall, often called heart attack snow, is especially difficult to shovel and can trigger heart attacks. It is nearly twice as heavy as typical snow. The weight of the snow is also straining power lines and trees, increasing the risk of outages and structural damage to roofs and carports. Medical experts say shoveling can sharply raise heart rate and blood pressure, and each year dozens of Americans die from snow shoveling related incidents. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aaliyah Bryant.
We head to a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have the Midday Sports Report.